there, welcome to January 2025. And I'm going to be doing a little bit of a different video today. I have so much going on all the time and so much to share. I thought that I would bring a lot more of that into my YouTube world. Right now I keep it super separate. And I thought I would kind of combine them because I think there's so much behind the scenes that other artists could benefit from seeing. So I'm going to be sharing a little bit more. And this is all going to start off with today's video, which is how I'm going to go about planning my 2025. I'm actually not much of a planner. I'm lucky to nail down a month at a time. And that took me about 48 years to figure out that it was really in everyone's best interest that I know what I'm doing in 30 days so that I could tell all the people that are attached to me also what the is going on. With that in mind, I created a goal planner journal. This originated out of sheets that my friend Mandi Brown originally created for my Wonder Bundle students over at Awesome Art School. Wonder Bundlers are people that are in all three of my creative art clubs at Awesome Art School. They get new lessons all the time. You get access to my whole backlog of library as well. So I had Mandi create these sheets to help my Wonder Bundlers originally grasp everything that's going on in their life so that they could also incorporate those things into their art practice to help them stay organized and focused. Because so much of becoming a good artist is about like everything not art related, literally nothing to do with art. It's like, how are you feeling that day? Are you well rested? Are you sick? Are you stressed out? Do you have a loved one that's been injured? Do you have a kid who's going off to college? How are you taking care of you? Are you getting the self-care that you need to keep your energy up and your spirits up? So I know that there's so much going on behind the scenes in all of our lives, which influence how we show up online as artists. And I only say that because I run an online art school. So everything that I know and can hear from the experience of others is all happening online. So fast forward a few years, and it's become more and more apparent to me how all of us struggle with these external stresses and influences that then in turn influence us and our art production. My art production is non-negotiable because I run a business and I have people that are coming to me that are depending on me to be coming out with a regular stream of brand new, refreshing, amazing, inspirational, educational content each and every week, and books. There's a lot. So I wanted to open up my art goal planner and actually fill it out in real time. I told a bunch of my students who I know had also ordered this. By the way, if you're a club member, you have a PDF for free, so you don't have to purchase one unless you want to, of course, but you can always individually print out these pages. It's been in your last few weeks' emails. It's also in the bonus section, ebook section of your memberships, FYI. But this is also available on Amazon. But I don't care about book sales. What I care about is helping people to achieve their art goals. And there's so much wrapped up into that. So much. I know it. I'm well aware, and I hardly address it anywhere to myself. Anyways, I will make it snappy. I'm going to be filling this out in real time. Hopefully that helps you if you're filling out yours as well. And if anything, don't buy it. I don't care. What I care about is you grasping what's holding you back, putting it down on paper, name it to tame it, so you can move forward in the new year and make some kick-ass art. You ready? Let's go. Whew. Okay. I'm already overwhelmed and I haven't even cracked the book yet. So before I start writing things down, I'm just trying to get like a mental grasp of all the tasks that I do need to do. So I started by just making like my actual to-do list that involves actual art. So it's all of these things in a row. These are all due every single month. For years and years and years, I did 1 or 2 YouTube videos every single week. I have 2 art YouTube channels and I was doing 1 for each. To this day, I don't know how I did that. So now I'm lucky if I get out 1 a week.
I run 3 separate art clubs, and they all get new deliverables every month, recorded and live. So the days that I have live, those then take up a day already. I need a day to film each one for each of them. I also opened an Outlander course, watercolor course this year with my friend Lucy, so I still have projects to do for that. I also run a business. This marketing and admin is really its own full-time job. Even if I never did a single art piece, this actually takes up the majority of my life. I published 3 books in 2024, and I have plans to publish 3 more in 2025. And on top of all of that, I'm also guest teaching for Ida Anderson and Tamara Laporte, who's also known as Willowing, this year. So I also have to, at some point, get this done. If that's not enough, I'm also migrating my entire online art school from one platform to a new one. So this planner is really no joke for me. It seriously is no joke, because for each of these clubs and all of these lessons, I need to feel inspired. I need to know exactly what I'm doing. That means time for choosing references that are safe to use for commercial use, that are related to the themes of what I'm teaching. It's a lot. So this is kind of on hand right next to me off camera. I just wanted to have that next to me because I need to know how to put them all in. And I'm going to be doing these update videos every month, because it just might help someone else realize you're not alone if you think you have a lot to do. And how do you fit in art when it's my job and I can't not stay motivated, inspired? My head has to be clear in the right space, or I can't do any of the things that I do well. Here's my January calendar. This is all my art clubs and my Outlander live. Because again, when I'm doing a live, then I'm crossing off that amount of time where I can't do other tasks because I'm teaching live. So for my clubs, I release everything on Sundays, except for my Celtic Collective. Those are always released on the 7th of every month. We always do 2 lessons. So this is a plan overall. Now, the biggest thing I'm going to be trying to decipher when I actually dive in, which I'm going to open right now, is do I set a task that's separate for each day? For example, do I just work on books every Monday? Or do I work on a little bit of a book every single day? That's what I've been trying to do the last few weeks, but it's not always working out correctly or right or in my favor, because there's always some other task that seems to like take over for the day. I'm literally going to go page by page. So there's like, I don't know how many pages this is, like 18 or something, before we get to the months. And then each month comes with a quote, and then it has its own list of things inside that you can track for each month. All right, so 10 things that held me back last year personally. And obviously this is gonna look super different for everybody. The biggest thing for me is probably shiny object syndrome. This is super common with entrepreneurs and creatives, which I am both. Have you ever heard people who are multitaskers or doing a million things, right? And then they see a squirrel, they're like, squirrel! And then they go drop everything and chase something else. I am super guilty of this, especially when it comes to things like business and marketing, because I need to keep inviting new members to join. I don't have a business if I don't have a steady stream of new people coming in. For marketing, I follow a lot of people and gurus. That's an important part about this book as well. It is an art planner, but the whole point is that there's so much going on behind the scenes in everyone's life that can get in front. It can get in the way of helping you just get to the point where you can sit down and create. Things that held me back last year aren't just art things. They're not like comparing myself to others, which is true, and not knowing a certain technique. That's true. But this section is really for like life things that get in the way. So another thing that held me back last year was like a ton of travel, which isn't necessarily going to change anything. It just makes it really hard. The past 3 years, I've done multiple international trips, but every time I leave for like a 10-day period, I have to batch all my content before I go, and then just to leave for a week. And then as soon as I get back, I'm behind. And it's really stressful. So that really does hold me back. And it helps me when I'm writing it down. It's not like this is going to necessarily change, but I need to recognize, right? This whole point in the book about naming it to tame it. I need to recognize what is getting in my way, just so I'm cognizant of it, and it will help me hopefully to plan better this year. Like, yeah, you really do need to batch the shit out of a lot of things so that when you get back, you're not behind and you can hit the ground running, but you won't be so behind. All right, what's another thing that held me back last year? Probably having a large team, which I don't have anymore. A large team is amazing because it helps me to be able to delegate a lot of my tasks in social media. But because I wasn't able to welcome in a big enough influx of people last year, I actually had to let my large team largely go. And so now I am solo. But the advantages of that are I didn't realize how much bandwidth and headspace my large team was taking up because I had to spend a lot of time and energy managing them. And now I don't have anyone to manage. So that actually becomes a good thing. So I'll save that for the next page. Other things that held me back last year. I do think like the whole comparison, it happens to everyone. So like being sure to kind of stay, and I'll save this for the next one, but like stay off social media, to be honest. And that is true. Like social media, it can be a real distractor. Yes. Okay. I think those are the major ones for me. Oh, and also time, because I really want to learn new techniques. So I don't have enough time to also, like I reached out to Dawn, what's her name? Vanderstop. She's amazing. And I actually asked her if I could pay her to like do a lesson and do a collab in some way for my students, because I really want to give them a top-notch experience. And I don't necessarily have the time to like go learn a medium from scratch because I have all of these other things to do. Unfortunately, she turned me down, so I'll have to go find another way or ask someone else who might be interested in doing a collab. And if you know anybody who's doing pan pastels who might be willing to do some sort of a collaboration, please let me know. I really want to bring that in. So 10 things I'm excited about this year. I'm more like scared, but I'm going to try to keep this on the excited part. I am excited to be a little bit more streamlined because I'm kind of back to being solo. I just have Margot who's helping me with like emails and Jeanette who's helping my students when they have art questions. I am excited to be a little bit more streamlined because I don't have to manage a team. I can kind of move a lot faster. I'm like a lot more nimble and I can cruise around without having to kind of stop and meet so much. I'm also excited. I'm really excited for our Outlander course because it allows me to nerd out over all things Scotland. One of my biggest goals is to actually have a house in Scotland so that we can go there all the time and have a place to stay, and I don't always have to crash at Lucy's house. This is an 8-month course. You can still join it if you want. I'll leave a link in the description box. This is an 8-month ongoing, and it's so fun to have our own private Facebook group to be nerd out over this and just do a whole 9 months of watercolors in Outlander. I'm so excited. It's my nerdy place, and it makes me very happy. I'm excited to try to maybe figure out some of this time management. I think that's really life-changing. I'm excited to take Max college hunting. I love college touring and traveling and going with my kids to check out different schools. He's my last of 3. My other 2 are in college right now. I just love the whole process, so I'm excited about that. It's such good one-on-one time for us. I am excited to just create for all my clubs, creating something from nothing. Going from a blank piece of paper to creating something with my own hands is something that never gets old, and I'm always excited to create new things. I'm really excited for my 3 more whimsical watercolor books. I have 2 already. In case you don't know, I published these 2 and the book I'm writing in the last 2 months of the year. So Wonky Woofers is coming out next, and I have plans to do 2 more other than that. So these are my whimsical watercolor books. I'm loving doing them. And so I'm gonna do 3 more of those. I'm excited to go to Scotland this summer with Sean and maybe even look at some properties. So those I think are the big ones. Okay. So 5 words that won't describe me. Let's see. I don't want to, or that won't define me. I don't want to be a stress case. I do not want to ever be negative. I don't want to ever get so, have my what is it called? Big britches get too big. I do not want to get a huge ego. And stay humble and grateful every single day. Laughing at some family things that my Sean warns me against won't define me. I guess I would say, I don't know if it's one word, but I know a lot of people who are going through like menopause. Really, I don't want to become a menopausal maniac. I just know some women who, when they go through menopause, come out the other side as less than nice. I don't know, they lose their filter, just become rather unpleasant. And I know quite a few women in my life that has happened to, and I'm really being very conscious. I'm turning 49 in April, and I just want to make sure that doesn't happen to me. And I told my family I ought to be on the lookout for such behavior because I want to be kept in check. So how may I rise above? Well, I think time management will help me from being a stress case, for sure. I think staying grateful, right? I get to work, not I have to work. And that will help keep me thinking positively. I do think like staying and having good communication with family. If I turn into a raging bitch, I want somebody to tell me that. And also having friends do the same. My friend group we're all about the same age. I have my closest friends are between sort of 44 and 53. And so we're all in the same period. So having my friend groups kind of hold me accountable to some of these things as well. Support, time management, and attacking each day from a grateful attitude and not a begrudging one. Okay, so words that I do want to define me. I would say obnoxiously positive, because it is truly contagious, and it also sets your like neural pathways to stay positive if you remain positive. And I do think like saying verbal words positively out loud every single day like restructures your brain to like keep being positive. I would love for the word like steady, because of all of these things happening. I would like to stay sort of calm and steady through all of these storms that initially came up. Consistent. So keep plugging away every single day. I would like to say strong, and I actually mean physically strong, not just emotionally and mentally strong. This will come up later, but this is really important for me to establish like a physical habit as well. And I would like to keep remaining like dependable so I can show up for everyone, my friends, my family, and my students and my audience. Just keep being consistent, dependable, so people know I'm there for them when they need me. So how do I aim to rise to what can define me? Well, I think writing these things down, just like we're doing right now, keep up with this. Keep up with this. I think think it's a great habit. Keep living by the philosophy that done is better than perfect. My mantra is usually good enough, and I really need to keep that up because it's really easy with so much going on to just stop because you feel overwhelmed, or like you can't measure up to other people, or you don't have enough time. So sometimes just banging it out is actually just fine. Somehow stay inwardly motivated to keep attacking all of this, which usually falls back to remembering why you're doing something, right? So I'm working so hard for my family. I'm working so hard so that Sean can retire early because he hates his life, because he hates his job so much. And just remember the core reasons why I'm doing all the things I'm doing. Right? So my kids can go to an out-of-state college, which sadly all of them are. So we can afford it. So I can help make their dreams come true. So yeah, remembering what makes me tick. All right, so reframe negative thinking. Negative story I often repeat to myself. I actually have a pretty positive inward thinking. However, I do have to say, so read this when negativity creeps in. I actually made a whole sheet on this. I'm going to go grab. I made a creed, and all of my Awesome Art School students have this in their membership. I know half of you are probably going, I do? You do. It's in your workbooks and guides that I made for you, because there's so many negative things that a lot of students, since I've been teaching for so long and I'm friends with so many of them, I really know that these negative stories are super real. So which is why I created this creed with many parts, which is to be read aloud and repeatedly. I am on my very own art journey of an awesome artist, and therefore will not compare myself to others, because I know that is a huge one. Art is like food. I won't know if I like it until I try it. A lot of people balk at learning new things because it's scary or overwhelming, but it's like, honestly, just give it a go. I will not take myself too seriously. The first one, which I skipped, is because you're supposed to read it out loud. I am awesome and I will treat myself accordingly, which means laughing with myself and not at myself, and handing out kudos every day along the way. Basically, treat yourself as a friend, as you would want your friend to be treating you. And also the emphasis on fun. I know that I'm doing things right when I'm having the most fun ever, regardless of what it looks like. I can't get worse with practice. That's not a thing. So I've quit making excuses and begin. A lot of people get in their heads and they don't even start because they're like, I suck. And then they don't start, but like, start. I will not be perfectionist because that takes away all the fun, and fun is the whole point. At least it is for me. I will make mistakes in every single project, and I will not only happily survive, I will make a better artist, because what these mistakes will teach me. And art is a skill that anyone can learn at any age, just like riding a bike, learning to read, or learning to swim. So if you're one of my students and you're filling out this page, hopefully those quotes can help you. And this is in your books. So I guess the negative story I do repeat to myself is probably more along the lines of, like, I can't show up as much as I want to. And I'm talking like social media. Like I get super overwhelmed when I go to Instagram, and like these artists are plugging and they're uploading like reels like multiple times a day. And it's always like new techniques and new projects and da-da-da-da. While I have just as many things under my belt, I don't have the time to take those long videos, make them into shorter reels, post them on Instagram. I lost my social media manager last year, so I just feel like I can't keep up. And that is exhausting and it scares me. So I feel like I'm drowning kind of all the time. And so I will turn to then this section, 5 things I love about myself, so I don't get down this negativity rabbit hole. I am annoyingly probably like flippant enough where I try not to truly care. I try to just bash those negative thoughts as fast as possible. So I'm like annoyingly flippant where I'm like, oh well, next. And that's my response to feeling overwhelmed. And it actually serves me extraordinarily well because it's so easy to get bogged down, and it keeps me from getting bogged down. I really will try anything, especially art related. So I will try not to get stressed out. Let's see. I guess that I really love and want everyone else to succeed. So I like to think that I'm supportive because I really do believe it, and I really want people to reach their goals and reach their dreams. And so I try to pour that out as much as possible. I love that I treat my kids as equals. And I think watching them grow into adults, I feel like that's served me really well. I'm not a control freak. I guess I'll put that as the bottom. I'm like the opposite of a control freak. And I think it helps other people thrive better, to let them take control of whatever it is that they're doing. Have them ownership, whether that be employees or kids or a spouse, allowing others to bloom with your support instead of your control. 3 things about me I'm grateful for. I know that I'm positive. I'm a really, really psycho hard worker. So I will say that I am grateful that I am that way. And I'll also say I'm like a pretty easy forgiver. Like I pretty much let everything go. And I'm pretty good at that. You have to do something really major to cross me to the point where I would cut you off or anything. It's maybe only a handful of people in my entire 50 years of life. So I'm pretty forgiving, which hopefully that means I'm easy to be around. All right, 5 things I'll be brave about this year. I really want to be braver about posting more things like this. I don't ever do real vlog, kind of behind the scenes, things like this where I really talk about my inner feelings or anything. So I really would like to do that. So yeah, record this, my inner monologue. I really want to learn more pastels. And that means approaching other people to see how they can help, because I want to learn them so I can teach my students better. So I want to be brave about approaching others to work with me. I guess I'll be brave about working solo. I do miss working with my team. We're still my friends, but it does take a lot more bravery when you feel like you're doing everything by yourself. So you kind of lost a little bit of my support network. That will be 5 things I'll be brave about doing that. I have to be brave when it comes to showing up for new people who don't know me. That's really hard. That's the hard part of marketing. You have to be really brave to say, hey, invite you to join my drawing club. Because people think you're salesy and then blah, 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 you just want their money. But it's no, the drawing club, my clubs are my heart and soul. And I live for them and I love for my students. And it's really scary to put yourself out there and sell things, because it always comes across as salesy. But I really, truly want you to come and become a member of my art family. So it just takes, you have to be really brave to be a good, genuine marketer. So showing up for people, for strangers, I guess. And posting shit like this on YouTube. Good Lord, you're opening yourself up to just really anyone new. I know my current friends are my fans and I love them dearly. But new people are scary because they don't know you, and their harshest judge is... All right, how I want to grow this year. I would like to actually grow physically stronger and get better at working out. I would like to learn more about pastels. And I need to do better about spending quality time, FaceTime, with my family and making everyone drop their devices. All right, and how can I nurture myself? Well, I do think I need to also show up for myself when it comes to workouts. I do need to do not cancel my self-care activities. Those are the first ones to go. Cancel my massage, skip my workout. Those need to stay, and I also need to add in more self-care activities, and we'll get more into that in a minute. Okay. So my overview of my arting goals. All right, so these are the skills I want to focus on each month. Okay, I don't have time in January to learn pastels. So I'm going to put my pastels goal, dream, way over here in September. Because I have my Outlander course lasts through August. So I can't even really breathe or consider anything new until after that. I'm always kind of working on my art skills for every month. So I'm going to leave this one blank because I think what will end up happening is I'll be filling in the fields more in terms of more of what I'm going to be fitting in. So I'm going to come back to this, but I really do want to have at least one new medium, and that's for sure going to be pastels. All right. I love this page. Technology and me. Describe my relationship with my phone, iPad, or computer. This is hard because my job is online. My whole entire art school is online. So all my connections, my students are there. So I need to be on there. However, the doom strolling is bad. And it's a complete waste of time. And that needs to stop. So how does this relationship affect my creativity? Well, first of all, it's a time suck. It's a total time sucker. So you can't be doing work, you can't be making art if you're on your phone. So you really have to put down your phone. It also can really negatively impact you emotionally and mentally if you're always online and you're always comparing yourself with others. That is like a shit show. And you have to be really careful not to do it. And everybody does it. So that's something that, again, I'm glad we're naming this so we can tame it. So how does this relationship my self-esteem? Well, when you're looking at other people's works that are a million times better than you, you just feel like shit. That's just how everyone works. So again, it's really important to stop doing that. The comparison game is bad. Is evil. So anything I want to change about my relationship this year? Yes. Phone off at 9. Off. Maybe even 8. I find that the most distressing DMs, messages, emails, all these things always come in as I'm about to go to bed. So I think for me personally, I always make, like, anyone who needs anything, it's at nighttime. And that's when I'm with my family. Like, that's when I'm relaxing with Sean. We're watching Netflix. My kids are coming in and talking to me. So having my phone literally off, like powered all the way off at 8, 9 at the latest is like actually huge. So that's something I want to stay focused on. Turning it off during art sessions. I mean, what I really should do is have set times during the day when it's on and I just go in. I either do my supportive work where I'm commenting on other people's things or sharing and then getting off of there. How do I feel when I share my art online? Proud, scared, don't care. I'm proud. I like to share for sure. But also, if I'm scared, remember, it's totally okay to keep my art private if I want to. I don't need to share unless I feel comfortable doing so. That is 100%, friends. If you are already feeling insecure about it, you don't have to post a thing. You can go up and be nice to others and comment on others, learn from others without even posting your own stuff. So never feel like you have to. It's never required. And then I do love this list, which is don't talk negatively about yourself. People do that all the time. They're like, here's my girl. Her lips are uneven. Her eyes are crooked and blah, 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 blah. But other than that, I like her. And it's like, no one was looking at that stuff. But now everyone's only looking at that stuff. So like, it's super easy to do it, but really, truly don't. Just don't. Just embrace all the things that are good. So this is a very important list. Don't list all the things that went wrong. Don't announce what you hate the most. Do practice talking to yourself like you would talk to your friend. I do firmly believe in that. Do tell yourself what a good job you're doing, and do give yourself maybe one tiny suggestion of one thing you'd like to improve next time, and then write it down in your journal. I do think that is, all right, so self-care activities I love. All right, so for rest, I really love a massage, and I try to have one once a month. I love watching TV for hours. So I would say massage and TV are huge. And I don't feel guilty when I'm watching TV because I know for me that's like literally how I am like unwind. Oh, I also read every night before I go to bed. So I would say my book. So for creativity, self-care activities, I do love doing like signing up for an online course, although it stresses me out because I don't have time. And then I feel guilty learning, which is so weird because I can usually just then turn around and teach similar skills in my own way to my students. So I shouldn't feel guilty for doing that. I don't feel guilty in learning. I feel guilty that I'm using time up because I don't have any of it. That's what I feel guilty about. But I really enjoy learning new things. And so I would like to say like learning new skills. Yes, that is a self-care activity that I need to be much more open and encourage myself to do that instead of the other way around. For my body, I really want to do more lifting weights. It's really important for your bones. And it looks awesome. I really want to have good toned arms. I know I'm being totally myself right now. And I always walk every day with my dog, which I love. And it has to be outdoors. I need some fresh air. And for my heart, oh, this is spending time with my girlfriends. And also Sean and kids. And this means actual like FaceTime. This is like in-person time. This is not online. All right, so some more self-care ideas. I did compile a list here. So call a friend you haven't talked to in ages. That's a really good one, and I'm really bad about that, which is why I put it on here for you. Take a walk in the woods. Walk with a friend. These are things that I enjoy. Try a new recipe. I also put this here because I hate cooking, but I'm really trying to, but again, I don't hate cooking because I hate the act of cooking. I hate cooking because it is time consuming. And then I get stressed because I don't have a lot of time to be doing it. But really, it should be something that I do for my family, for myself, to eat well. Like, what the hell? And I do love me a pedicure. They're really stupid expensive. I think I only got 2 this year, but I would love to get more because it's relaxing and you do feel super pampered and like special doing it. So treating yourself to things is for sure good. I do think we have an amazing art museum and I haven't even been to it in like 2 years. So I need to do art museum way more. There's also a stunning walking path at ours, and I love that. Why am I not doing that? So that is a great form of self-care. But I could do like an art journal practice where then I just record and I could share that on YouTube like this. That's just private. Then I could like double duty it and like then I have my YouTube posts, but then I also am arting for me, which I never do. I love to dream about which house is next. Moving or doing house renovations is fun. More self-care ideas. There's a lot more we can put into this category. Like so much more. You can do a yoga. Oh, I think I signed up for a yoga thing actually. Now I don't know when it is. Yoga I'll put with Mandi because she's learning how. And I signed up to do one with her and I can't remember when that is. Oh, you know what I love to do? I love to go thrifting. So take more time to discover more places. And then in these little holes you can do some more doodles. And then I even think that it is genuinely so important to expand on this category as much as possible. All right, so finally to the month of January. All right, so 3 things that held me back last month. Well, it's the holidays. That just is its own categories, which is stressful in every way. So I can do to overcome them now? Well, everything is already packed away, which we are usually first to the curb. Our Christmas tree is on the curb at like sometimes on Christmas Day. So getting through the holidays helps me to like forge ahead. So the holidays, it's also really hard when I have kids home. I can't focus when my kids are home. That sounds terrible, but I really can't. But it's not a negative thing. I just need to recognize that it's a reality that I do not get creative when my children are home. So they're back at school. I still have 2 home for 2 more weeks, but Billy's working. Max has just went back to school. So now I can be sure to be busy while they're gone. So take advantage during those times. Like jump to it. During the free times. And I do find this is really helpful to say these all and write them down because you do like forget. And another thing was just like overwhelm at all the things to do. So what can I do to overcome them? List them out, write them here, make the calendars. To plan. Planning helps a ton. All right, so here's your monthly creative tracker. So I was trying for a while to do 1 wonky woofer a day. Those are the dogs for my latest book. But it's hard because each one can take about an hour to 90 minutes to create. So it's hard to carve that out every single day. So this is something I will check off. See, I will be creating today. Today's the 8th and I have a live scheduled. So I'm going to write live for the days that I do have lives so I know when those are actually. So the 17th I have a live for my drawing club. I have a live actually today and tomorrow for my Scotland Stones and Stories, which is my Outlander course with Lucy. I also have a live for Scotland Stones and Stories on the 24th. I also have a live on the 30th. So I'm wondering if those days I'm already live, are those good days that maybe I usually go live? Oh, I also have a live on the 21st for the Celtic Collective Art Club. So on those days, I could just make it like a full day of arting where, okay, I'm doing a live, so I need to have all my things out. So maybe that same day I do that's when I record my lesson for the drawing club for the next month because I'll always have the same supplies out. That would be a good plan. I've never actually considered doing that before. All right, so I'm like wrapping my brain around different ways I can do this. This is really helpful to have this layout. Okay, more on that later. All right, so how to achieve those monthly goals. So this is... Well, monthly goal is to freaking fit everything in. Fit it all in. So, again, I'm scared to do this, but I'm wondering if I shouldn't just have like every Monday work on my book all day. Like Mondays are my book days. Tuesdays are my move my school platform days. Wednesday the 8th are my marketing days. Thursdays are my film lesson days, and Fridays are my film lesson days. Can I do that? I've never tried that before. It's super time consuming to switch gears and go from art to not art. All right, I need to think about this. All right, I have an idea. This is my idea. I think I need to try this for 1 week and just see how it goes. So I'm gonna put this on pause, although I really like the fact that we're like checking off the days that we're creative. So I've already had 1 week of January go by, and I did do my mixed media project on Saturday. So we're on week 2 right now, and I will be doing a live on Wednesday. So this is January. This is like the first week is, what is this? 31st, 30th, so this is like December 29th to January 4th. This second week is January 5th to the 11th. This is the 12th to the 18th. And then this is the 19th to the 25th. So you can kind of keep track. So on this week, all right, I'm also traveling these days. So the 12th, and then I have a live on this day. So I know I'll be being creative that day. I am trying to do a lesson on Saturdays. And then the last week, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's 5 weeks. There should be more. Okay. So on the 30th, basically on a Thursday, I already have one. So I'm going to try this way. I'm going to try it for a week. Now, I'm not home next Monday, so already I'm off track, but that's life, right? So we'll make this an admin only day, because I could do some after I get off the plane. Who knows? What if Mondays was admin all day, and this could be my school migration day? Let's try this. I'm going to try this. I've never tried this before. Let's say Tuesday is a book day all day. Actually, let's say Wednesday is my all-day book day. Because my admin goes so close with my marketing, there's always marketing to do. I need to check on my Facebook ads. So let's just be that Tuesday. Wednesday could be a book day. Thursday, why don't we make Thursday our YouTube day and a filming day? Friday is pretty much always, almost always have lives on Friday and a filming day. Saturday can be a filming day because I actually really enjoy. And Sunday is always admin because that's when my newsletters go out. And yes, I work 7 days a week and it just is what it is. So I send out my club newsletter and I always do a video that goes with that. All right, I'm going to test this out for the rest of the month and see how it goes. And then I will report back. Supplies I need, good Lord, that's the last thing I need. I order supplies like every day. I'm going to skip that section. Okay, and then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill these in. Oh, I have a good one. I'll actually write this in. This is so funny. Sean, I was shoe shopping and for some reason I brought Sean. There's a cute town near us and I was going to go, so I invited Sean. So I was trying on like gloves or something. And Sean snuck up to me in his tiny store with like no one in it but me and 2 of the sales clerks. And Sean scared the shit out of me that I screamed in the store. And I screamed and then I said like, Jesus, like as loudly as I could. And then it was hilarious. So that was in the Horizons store. That was very, very funny. So what about this moment that was so much joy? Well, it was a surprise for sure. And then how can I channel this joy into my art this week? Yeah, I think that's really good. I think that can go into my Wonky Woofers books because those are all really, really silly. And I can also take that to YouTube and inspire that. Maybe I can go find some funny reference. See, I wasn't even thinking of that, but now I am. And I already have a funny reference picked out for Drawing Club, so I already got one there. Websites that inspire me. I'm trying to think if there's any recently that I found. Actually, I'm going to write down SketchWow, which is a software that I purchased. And it's like you can make animations. It's like drag and drop animations. So I was thinking about maybe messing around with some videos there, whether that be for marketing or just fun ones for my students. It can totally inspire me. Yeah, it will be fun to actually draw some of the digital animations. And I'll leave the rest blank, but be sure to remember that there's a spot for this where I could write this down, which is so nice. Ooh, listen to music by art. Well, I can't when I'm teaching, which really blows, to be honest, because I do my best art when I am listening. Does it affect my creativity? Yes. And I just love that this page is here because it reminds me to turn it on when and if. Lately, I've been loving listening to cello music on full blast. And I also have a channel called the Afro Celtic Station, which I also love. And that is really nice because it's just pumps in instrumentals. And I like to listen to weird things because it really inspires me in really different ways. Oh, I just bought 3 new Paul. Oh God, I can never spell his last name. I can't remember how to spell his last name, but he has lots and I'm trying to collect them all. I just bought 3 more. Purchase where I find them all on Amazon. He's graphite and his work is freaking stunning. Art tools. I love my black wings. I'm using a black wing right now, but this is a little harder lead, so it's great for writing, but not as much for drawing. Did I feel like I learned while I was drawing? Yes, absolutely I did. All right, books and podcasts. So I'm reading a book called Wilder right now by Rebecca Yarrow. I can't remember if there's an S on the end of it. It might be Yarrow's. She wrote that dragon series, First Wing. I'm waiting for the 3rd one in the series to come out. In the meantime, I'm reading 2 of her other ones. So good. Shapes me. It inspires me to draw super hot characters. For real. The characters it's like there's good sex in it. Everyone's always the best looking in the world. And it's very inspirational. Yes, I recommend to others. It's young adults. It's the only books I don't recommend to my kids because I'm like, oh, that's just awkward. I love the dragons, the 4th wing dragons. It makes me want to draw dragons. Dragons are so cool. Lucy and I have talked about doing the 4th wing characters in Celtic Collective. Let's see what to read next. That last in the trilogy. So good. And do I listen to this audio? I don't. I need to actually read. And I love a podcast better. We also need a good show right now. If you are watching a good show, can you please tell me? Because I want to fill this out. We are been stuck for the last 2 weeks. So yeah, I'm drawing a blank. Okay, movement. And me, activity, I do a daily walk with Mags Magerson, and it is like my salvation. And I usually do weights twice a week. And I really want it to be 3 times. If you are not getting outside every day, you are missing out. Just be outside, even if you're just sitting in a chair. It's my sanity. I love it. Who can I do this with? I do already walk with friends a few days a week, but I also really need my alone time. So I also do a lot alone. And I love my podcasts. It's also a good time for me to call my mom and my sister. How can I fit this in my month? All right, as often as possible. It's hard in the cold weather and in the hot weather, actually. But I want to increase my weights to 3 times a week because I think that way if I miss 1 a week, I'll still have 2. How it's good for me in so many ways, but it's also good for me mentally and physically. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. I will try, especially the 3 days weights. It's hard. I'm going to try. All right, here's my monthly self-care checklist. What form of self-care do I neglect the most? I would say rest and relaxation. I'm terrible at it. How can I nurture that part of me? Not that I want to watch more TV, but I think I could do maybe get my nails done. I do the salon, maybe once a month. Whether it's nails or toes, it forces me to relax. I actually have to leave my house in order to properly relax. I think that's the key here. But it also stresses me out because it puts more things on my calendar. But like it's like once a month, like you gotta fit it in. But it's so hard for me. And I do a monthly massage, but I just had one yesterday and I canceled it because I wanted to work more. And like that's bad. So I need to stick to my guns. And maybe that's the same things. Like every Tuesday I schedule it. And maybe that's actually the key, is like picking a day. Like it's always on a Tuesday, for example. All right, so this I can kind of come back into reflect on when I go to do February. I can come in and fill these back in. But I would like to say my walks. We're also going to Vegas, and that really fuels my creativity like crazy. And then what I would love to do is have it once a week, right? Walking I try to do every day, but at least once a week. It's so hard, but ideally every day. Like I think I would have a walk every day. That's non-negotiable for me. But some of these other things need to start getting filled in and need a bigger priority. Okay, and then these I will fill in when I go to do February. This is our month end reflection and looking ahead. I will revisit this at the end of January, and then I'm gonna keep this book on my art table, and as accountability, I'm gonna film one of these every month. And I don't care if nobody watches them because I'm actually doing it for me. But if it does help you, then amazing. And in the comments, let me know like what your plan is for 2025. And if you're keeping any sort of journal or anything to help you with this as well. That was super helpful. All right, let me know in the comments how you're using your book, and you can grab one of these on Amazon. Thanks for watching.